Oh, this is much heavier than I thought.
That's heavy, right?
You gotta have proper lifting techniques with
I know, right? Welcome to today's video. Today's a super exciting day that we have both been waiting for a while, and it's time to get started on a project that we need to do. So today we're going to be installing some coilovers on my car, and then we're going to be showing you guys how to do that, as well as the process of everything that we're learning along the way, because this is our first coilover install. But it's pretty much basic. Per strut there's 5 bolts, so it's really not that hard. But we're going to be diving into this box. We're going to show you guys the product first, and then we'll go over to the garage and start the work. So the thing that I love about this box, even just the box itself, oh, and there's some goodies in here that I'm really impressed about.
I haven't seen any of this.
So this has the install videos right here. So they actually have videos for every single coilover that they make. They also have a video specifically them putting coilovers on that car.
Yeah.
So it shows you
that video.
It shows you very basically how to do it. So if you guys want just a quick video on how to do it specifically with their coilovers on whatever car you have, they have a video ready for you. As well as this is one of the main reasons I bought these Raceland coilovers. Oh, and these are the Raceland Primos, so this is like the highest grade coilover you can get from Raceland. The main reason I bought it was this right here. Anything that goes wrong, you send it back, you get a new one, and you're good to go. So as long as you, I guess, have your receipt and this, then you're good to go. Start off with
Most important thing is sticker.
most important thing right here.
It's going right on the windshield, right? Front windshield, front and center.
Maybe. No,
You don't need a seat.
we have another sticker coming for that they don't know about.
Yes, we do.
So yeah, we got a little before installing, blah blah blah. But they're already assembled, so we don't really have to do any of this. Go.
Doctor.
There they are, baby. So I did take out one last night just to make sure that everything was in the box before we actually started this. Yeah, so go ahead and open that. This is what I'm impressed about.
What is this?
Open it. There you go.
Ooh, dude, nice packaging.
Oh.
Ever ask why our coilover kits are so inexpensive? We cut out the middleman, as in the dealer. Or we're not really reading this anymore. How do we do this?
So there's a little tab.
Ooh, what?
A little coilover keychain.
A little coilover? Does it actually like... Oh, word? Dude, look at that. That's gnarly. Got a little baggie full of hardware.
All your hardware.
We got our... What are they called?
Turning keys, basically.
Keys?
I guess.
I thought they had a special name. Got the coilover wrenches, the like dampening lines, a little Allen key, some little hardware. It says Raceland S and H, probably for soft and hard for your dampening.
Yeah, so that's the main reason I bought the highest grade coilovers that they have, is that they have adjustable dampening, adjustable ride height, and camber plates for the top of these. So I wanted to have full adjustability for everything. So for $5.99 shipped, and it shipped in 4 to 5 days, there's like no better choice. So this is everything that's going to be coming in your kit. You got your coilover, obviously there's 4 of those. Everything that we just went over, just a little bit laid out better so you can see everything that comes in the kit. It is everything you're going to need besides just basic wrenches to get the bolts off. This is everything you're going to need to install your coilovers. Alright, so this is what we're working with today. This is my 2004 WRX, and this is what we're going to be installing those coilovers on. So I'm going to get everything prepped up and ready to install coilovers. I think we're going to start in the front first, and then the rear, and then I also, right now I'm running my winter wheels. Right now I'm running my winter wheels, so I brought over one of my summer wheels so that when we drop the car, we're going to test the height of where it's going to be sitting with the wheel on when springtime comes, and I got to put those wheels back on. But for right now, these ugly things got to stay on, but that's okay because we're actually going to see what our lowest setting is today as possible on the coilovers, and the only way to fit those would be on these wheels anyway. So we're going to see what happens with that, and then we're going to get started on this. So these are my wheels that I'm going to be test fitting on the car today later once we get all the coilovers installed. These are my ESR wheels that I run in the summer that we're going to be testing on the car later when we have the coilovers on. So this is what I run during the summer. Love this wheel so much. One thing that we're going to have to test for is how big the sidewall of the tire is. I run a 265/35/18, and what we're gonna have to be testing for is the fitment of this. So I have a pretty meaty looking tire that goes around this wheel, and I might have to actually downsize in tire size when we lower the car, depending on how like the fitment is against the fender and everything. So that's why we're here, and I brought this one wheel to test today all around the car. Before we even start, I just want to check all the ride height to show you guys before and after. So looking down around here, and then this is the wheel gap on these wheels. Obviously these look ugly as crap, so I'm not gonna look that good right now. See about this. So we're at 5 fingers right now from where that front lip is, and we're going to be measuring all the way around to make sure that all of our ride heights kind of stay the same. So, but today we want to just eyeball it and make it as close as possible. Alright, so this is my assembly as it stands right now. I do have STI struts on this car, so you can kind of see where it used to be pink, and of course salt ruins everything. So we're going to be taking these out today. I'm kind of sad to get rid of these because for some reason I love having a upgraded OEM part on the car, like it's supposed to be there from factory. But it's time to go. It's time to upgrade and have adjustable suspension. So we're going to start taking this one apart, and we'll start throwing in the new coilovers. So like I said before, it's pretty easy in theory. There's just a couple bolts. There's 3 up top that we have to get through to the hood, and then there's 2 right here that we're going to be taking off, as well as just a couple like the brake line and the ABS line right here. Those got to come off and then be attached onto the new strut assembly. Now I've seen a lot of people go ahead and take off like the rotor as well as the calipers just to do this. You don't really have to do that, so I'm not going to do any extra work. I technically would be able to do this if we were in an area where we don't have rust on our cars. So rust just makes everything take so much longer. Like if our cars were not rusty right now, we could definitely get the coilover done in like less than an hour if all of us were here. But rust just sucks. It makes everything take that much longer, and honestly it's the worst thing ever. But we're trying to work around it, and we're gonna have some fun today and install the new coilover. So let's get this thing ripped apart and then throw that new one in. Alright, I just got the brake line part released from there. One thing you got to be careful of is that brake line kind of dangling by itself if that were to come off. But since you just need to make sure that the brake line is not dangling and putting too much stress on there, because it could rip something or tear something out, so just be aware of that. Alright, taking off this brake line, you can see just how much like discoloration has gone into where it rusted. This entire strut's supposed to be that color, pink, but it's a nasty like earth brown. So I wish I had it when it looked like that. It's so much cooler. I have a feeling we're gonna have to use this big guy at some point for those big bolts, but everything else so far has been a-okay. But we're probably gonna have to whip this baby out. Cannot feel my hands at all. Wow, I'm very white. Alright, running into our first headache. I cannot get the bottom bolt out. I told Ryan to pick up some PB Blaster to get rid of some of that rust, as well as I probably just need him here anyways to help me pull down here. This is our first sign and proof of living in the North sucks, because you can't take literally anything off of your car when it's so easy. It's literally 2 bolts. So we're not giving up on this. I just need to wait for him to get back with a PB Blaster, but I can actually start the top ones because I know the top ones will be easy. One thing to note is that that top bolt that goes, the most upper one on the strut, this is actually a camber bolt. So if you look at it as I'm spinning it, it's kind of hard to see with the shadows, but you can see how the top left of that, it looks like it's almost like morphed or broken. That's actually like, however you place it, it's going to help push that strut this way or that way to help with camber. So there's technically a camber bolt stock. So this is what we're going to use to put like either max camber or in the middle or nothing at all. Alright, here we go. So this is nice and loose. Can't really do it with one hand, but this is nice and loose. I got all of the top bolts off, so this is going to come off. And yes, I have a strut brace as well, so this is going to have to pop off first, and then this is going to drop down, and then we're going to put our new coilover in. Alright, I'm having Ryan clean up these bolts. Just since they're out already, may as well clean up all the little dust and debris that's on it, as well as rust. It'll make it easier going in and back out. Before we actually install the coilovers, I'm kind of doing an eye measurement of where I want them to be. I'm trying to make them as even as possible. So this bottom part right here where those 2 bolts just came out of, this is adjustable. This goes up and down, and then also your spring can go up and down. If you don't have an adjustable bottom piece, it's not always going to be true like ride height. You're just going to be riding on your preload if you're more or less. So it's important to have this be adjustable right here. That also determines what grade of quality the coilovers are. So if they don't have an adjustable bottom end like this, then they're not going to be as good as a performer as something like this where the bottom is adjustable. Like I said before, the top hats have adjustable camber plates. So these are going to be the fronts. So we're going to do the fronts first. And then right up here is your knob to adjust the dampening, so you can go all the way soft, all the way hard. This has 17 or 18 clicks of adjustability, so that's really good. So yeah, we're gonna throw one of these things in the front driver's side and we'll button her up.
Oh, there she is. There you go. Ooh. Ooh, wait. Oh, watch your fender. Nice. Wow, that is huge.
Dude, that's so fat compared to the
wow. All right, let's jump to a comparison.
All right, this is actually really surprising on how you can see how thick this one is compared to this, and then already the adjustability. So from here to here rather than there to there, so much better.
Like you can just see obviously you got this whole adjustable section here that is adjustable because that all like collars into that. Dude, just wow, what the heck? That's wild.
Yeah.
I had to go to the eye doctor, so like my eyes are like dilated and I need sunglasses.
He's real stoned.
Are they still large?
Yes, that's not very large.
Yeah.
So sunglasses.
It's really bright.
It's dark in here, but like it's still probably light to you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You just kind of hold up.
Bucks. One thing you'll notice about Jordan is no matter what you're doing, he'll blow on it. Cooking with Jordan, let's just blow on it.
Heat it up.
It's too hot, blow on it. Much better, looks a lot cleaner. Nice job, bud. Towards you again. There you go, straight up. You want to hand me some top bolts? I forgot, I actually did this with Calvin when we were putting the suspension deck in on the 240, I think.
I think what we're going to do today... Oh, wait. Does it have to come out?
Well, you know, it's just one of those things. Just hold on.
Yeah.
We just had to get her in there. Well, can we secure the bottom first and then do that?
We got to start from full camber and work our way back. Just because we know that it's going to be difficult trying to fit that tire under there anyways. So
we'll have to lower it a little bit and then just kind of push it out.
Yeah.
Until you get that nice tuck.
That looks good, black and pink.
Yeah.
So already looking at this, before the wheel's on and anything's bolted down, I can see how much farther the hub sits up, and also when we put the camber on, you'll start to see it tilt inwards, which is what we're going to need to work with before we get the right fitment with the wheel. So we're going to have to start in and work our way out. I don't know if this is going to affect it, but since we only have one strut in, I don't know if it's going to sit weird because all the other ones are still installed, so it might just sit like this, so it could be a little off. That's why I need to do like full adjustment like later when I have all the wheels on and all the suspension in. So this is just kind of a test to see how it's going to look. We're going to have to watch the fender too because that will hit.
Yeah. You watch that. So
That's what old suspension sounds like.
wow, your suspension is pissed.
Oh!
You're closer to clearing than you were before. Oh my god, yo, feel that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, yeah, we're right there.
Yeah, you don't go any lower.
No.
Are you all the way out?
Yeah, we're all the way done.
Damn, yeah, that's... Yeah, hold on,
cool.
let me get like... That's wild. That's funny, but it's not as bad. The poke is not as bad, but
the thing is,
with those rolled and like, maybe, I don't know, more camber?
the thing is, the front was always the one that pissed me off because the rear sat like really nice. It's just the front sat too high. But now that we can drop the front a little bit, it's like so much better. I need to take a picture of that.
Y'all ain't ready for this. It's tough to tell on camera, but it's really low.
Not gross. Gross. Not gross. Very gross. Alright, it is now 2 days from the last clip. Oh my god, we just went through the worst experience of trying to get this freaking bolt out on the rear strut. It took me probably maybe 4 hours, 5 hours to get this freaking bolt out of the thing. So what happened was it seized from rust. That's number one. Number two, it started stripping. All right. So at that point, I'm like, okay, now I need to cut it off. So we go out, we buy a Dremel, come back, start chopping it off. I don't even know if we showed that. That was 2 days ago. And started cutting it off. Came back today, started working on it more, gets cut off. And then I finally get it to where I can kind of push the bolt through as if it were a pin. So it comes out the bottom of it and then should just fall out, right? But no! Gets stuck because the axle in the rear is in the way. Can't get the freaking bolt out all the way. So I'm like, oh my god, now I gotta cut it again. Which is not an issue. The issue is that there's no room to try and get up in there and cut anything. So I'm up there trying to cut this thing for like 2 hours, banging it away, filing away at it, and we finally got it out. The strut is now out, so now we can start moving on to the rear. We did finish up the other day, we did finish up this passenger side coilover as well, so the front is completely done. Front is done. Now we're just moving on to the rear, which is just a little bit harder just because the strut top is inside the back of the trunk, but we've already gotten the rear of the car taken out, and you already took off the bolts for that strut, and now
yes,
it's already
sir.
out. So now we just got to put the new coilover in, then this side should be done.
Just being like,
Then this side
quick.
should be done. We kind of had to do a little bit of adjustment to the ride height on that bottom part that I was showing you guys. If you can see this, how cold it is in here. I'm wearing a t-shirt right now. You can see my breath talking. But we got that rear one done. So on the last one on the other side for the rear, what we're going to do is we're taking our time with this. One thing that I wanted to do is start taking my time with the project and doing it the right way and not having to cheap out on time. So what we're doing is we sprayed the last side with PB Blaster, and we're gonna let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna get back to it and just keep getting those bolts off for the last strut. We're down to the last one. And this just shows you how difficult it is to be a car enthusiast in the Northeast where they use salt on the roads because of rust. A 2-hour job turns into a 3-day job. So I know I'll be happy with the outcome once it's all done out on the street and the weather clears up a little bit. So this last one down here is just sitting in PB Blaster until tomorrow. So we'll zoom this tomorrow once again. Alright, welcome back. This is day 3. We actually just got another bolt off the rear strut. This is our last one that we're doing. We let it sit overnight with PB Blaster. That's what we said last night. And then we went this morning, tried to take it off, and took just a little bit of muscle. Me and Ryan got it done. We're halfway done. So we just have one more bolt after this. But this one's going to be a little tricky because it started to barely strip last night. I'm going to see if we can actually still keep up with it. But we're down here. We're going to clean off this OEM bolt with the... We're going to be cleaning off the bolt that we just took off. And can you show them the before, and then I'll show the after. So there's that. You can see how rusty it is, and once again we're going to be cleaning this one off and reusing it. And just like that, we got the other one out safe and sound, no stripping at all. Both bolts are out. Now all we gotta do is take the strut out.
and just like that, we got it out.
Alright, the final drop. We have finally buttoned everything up. Obviously, we got to put the interior back in because it's still on the roof. But all the suspension is put back in place.
I'm gonna have to stop like a little bit there.
You don't have much room there, bud. Hear that lip's coming off.
Alright. This is the first time the car's seen daylight in about 4 days. So we're going to take it out, see how it looks out here, get some good pictures of it, and listen to this little cold start because it has not started in a couple days. So and it's probably 12 degrees out right now. Now try. There you go. Alright, we're gonna see how low. Hold on! Alright, hold up, hold up, hold up! Oh, that sucks. That light, wherever it went, that light fell down because the cord got snagged because how low it was. Put a circular dent right in the thing and a little bit of scratches. So we're gonna have to add that to the list of fixing all these scratches, which is not terrible, but it's just one more thing to add. We're gonna have to raise this up a little bit before we can even make it out of the driveway.
that sound?
It's just that plastic piece on the cover.
Man, there's only a couple videos that we put out during this
3
season
days.
where you get the cold outdoor winter closeout.
Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it gave you kind of an insight of how to do this, as well as dealing with a bunch of rust like what we are dealing with. So if you guys can, go hit that subscribe button. We would love it. Also share with all your friends. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Stay wicked.